Peace. We most need to, excuse me, we teach best what we ourselves most need to learn. And in this particular case, it's not so much of a learning, but an anchoring. What most do I need to anchor or come to some acceptance and embracing about my own life experience and how valuable it is to have other folks come into our lives to mirror things for us and to see our own experiences become much clearer, and have a better understanding about them. I've recently, within the past month, found myself in I have a home. I'm in my home, and somebody moved in with me. Someone, my stepson, and it's been a huge growing experience for me. And in growth, there is discomfort. There's in growth, there is discomfort, unfamiliarity, and not all of the experiences are there's conflict. You have two different people with two different perspectives occupying the same space, and it may cause a disharmony. But the only way that you come to the other side, or you experience the learning, is by going through it from your own integrity. And the thing that has come abundantly clear, is the depth of my fear surrounding acceptance and approval. And it's been an ongoing thing throughout the course of my life, since very young childhood. Some of my first memories were based in fear. Truly, traumatic experiences, and developing a people-pleasing attitude to kind of keep order over my world. If everybody's happy, I can be happy. But to have the mirror of my stepson in the house has brought up a fair amount of those people-pleasing patterns. Not so much that I'm going out of my way to please him, just that it's become, he's mirroring that to me through his own relationships with his family members. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, wow, did I do that? Yep, I did. Wow, did I do that kind of thing? Yep, I did. And it's interesting. It's very early, and I got my sleep togs on. It's early. I love my bedroom. I used to do a lot of different shifts. I know I'm leaning off here, but my bedroom is blacked out. That window behind me, where you see the burgundy curtain there, I actually have a piece of styrofoam insulation wedged into the window to black out my bedroom. So my bedroom, the sun's actually out. If I open my bedroom door, it's going to come glaring in. I'm like, I'm a vampire. But I woke up, took a look in the mirror, and I'm like, my hair was like total bedhead. But I don't know if you can see But I got my hair pulled back in a ponytail, and this all leads to my point. Where the hell is he going with this, right? This all goes back to my point. People pleasing, fear of acceptance, and lack of acceptance, and abandonment, or giving two shits about what other people think about me, and basing my self-worth on their opinion. And the mirror of having my stepson living with me and witnessing the dynamics that he has with his family members, dad, mom, sisters, cousins, uncles, brothers, grandparents, and all the people pleasing that I did. And my hair, where my most recent profound experience was, I don't know, 8 months ago, whatever it was, who cares? My hair had gotten long. It was a choice. It was something like, I've always gone through phases of having long hair through my life, and for one reason or another, i.e. people pleasing, I'll give you two examples. The most recent had to do with my elder sister, and the one prior to that had to do with my former wife. I had long hair when I met her. She didn't like my long hair and my beard, so I got a nice short haircut and I shaved my beard off, and I could be happy because she was happy with the way I looked. Wrong. I wasn't happy with the way I felt or looked, but I did it for her, and isn't that nice? He made a sacrifice for us. No, I sacrificed something that I felt deeply about. I liked having long hair and a beard. It was her preference to see me with a short haircut and clean shaven, because that was more appealing to her, and I'm not discounting that. That's what she found more attractive. But I wasn't being authentic to myself. I was doing something, and ultimately, well, if she's happy, I can be happy. But there was always that lingering resentment that I had cut my hair. And then fast forward to whatever it was, 8 months ago, my hair had gotten quite long again, and I had an experience with my sister. She and I had been were visiting for the day, and my hair was long, man. It was long. And I had it tied back. I had it tied back kind of into a man bun. It's funny because somebody starting to make jokes about that at work to me. But in good humor, it's... And I spent the day with my sister, and 8 months ago. And, and all she said to me was, "Wow, your hair is really starting to look a little sloppy." Bing, bing, bing. The bells started going off. That fear started churning up, And, prior to that, over the course of my life, the people pleasing, and how can I best fit into their perception of me, to create harmony. And all it took was for her to say, "Your hair looks sloppy." And I went and I got a haircut out of fear of abandonment, or the loss of that relationship, or the loss of her acceptance or approval. And it was so, not in the moment. It was probably a week later, or probably a week later, where I suddenly, it was a moment of clarity, and I'm like, what the hell did I do? I love my long hair. It fit into my own identity of self, and to change my identity for other because of some fear pattern from childhood, it should really messed up, But coming forward now to where I'm sitting here in my bedroom, my beautiful, glorious, blacked out bedroom where, I'll show you real quick, right? This is how dark it is in my bedroom with that window blocked off, right? I'm going to shut off the light. Bang! Pitch dark in here. Pitch dark in here. Because I was working third shift and I was sleeping during the days and whatever. But I like it. I like the dark. It's not for everybody. It can be a little unsettling, but I like the dark. I find it very peaceful and meditative. An absence of stimulation. But going to this experience that I'm having with my stepson living with me now, and him mirroring me, and we as individuals teach best what we need to learn ourselves, or in this particular case, anchoring something in and coming to a greater acceptance about it and embracing it and really seeing things the way they are, and to witness my stepson's interactions with his sister, his father, his mother, and I have a great deal of respect for him because he's coming into his own. He's 22 years old, and he's coming into his own, and he's starting to identify those patterns within himself about people pleasing, i.e., mom and dad, the parental structures or expectations from our parent figures or the authority figures, or the acceptance and approval from our siblings. And it's been hugely beneficial to me to have that mirror, and to be available to him, and to be available, to people, and I didn't realize this at other times in my life, but where people were being honest and open and direct with me, but I was not quite in that place where they were calling me out, but I wasn't quite in that place to receive it. And I would, some of that is what's going on here, and as gently as I possibly can, when he moved in here, if I'm going to amalgamate, he was looking for a peaceful, quiet place that was not quite so stimulating to live, i.e., he had come back from Los Angeles, moved back into his father's house with his sisters, his stepmother, a new toddler, little sister, which he loves very much, and a busy kind of chaotic household, and it overwhelmed him on some level, and he was looking for another place. It overwhelmed him, and he wanted to find some place that was quiet or peaceful or whatever. And I'm like, well, this is a pretty quiet, peaceful place. And so he moved in. However, probably, and I didn't see it immediately. I don't think he's fully aware of it either, but we've had some good conversations, i.e. yesterday, where I just simply said, look, I had to make some boundaries because there was a constant, unceasing influx of people coming into the house, his sisters, his friends' sisters, his sister's friends, etc. And it was overwhelming. Like, instead of him coming here for peace and quiet, it would have appeared that and for lack of a better word, the chaos from his father's house followed him over. And it was overwhelming for me. And I believe, as familiar, the chaos is familiar to him. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's familiar. But to bring that kind of energy into a peaceful environment, and it disrupting the peaceful environment, But to have that conversation with him, and where, let's just say 5 years ago, I would have been extraordinarily agitated. I would have lost my temperance around expressing what my genuine thoughts and feelings were, sensing the energy in the house. I was able to articulate that to him in a way that was uncharacteristically clear and kind and loving. And he nodded his head and, kind of, you're right. I did come here for peace and quiet. And that energy did follow me. He agreed with, now I'm hoping that he's not just agreeing with me out of acceptance and approval, but to see the dynamic between he and his sister, to hear stories about his dynamic with his biological dad or his stepmom. At the end of the day, all we can do is us. And if we're constantly hopping, skipping, and jumping, trying to make others happy, everybody else is happy and we're miserable. We're not in our integrity. And it's my hope that he will find that happy place within himself where he feels like he can be here without being in a state of fear of losing my acceptance and approval or pleasing me. We have to be respectful of one another and enjoy a peaceful, quiet household, where we can express ourselves openly, without fear of abandonment or rejection or. Fairly quick noodle today, but interesting experience in the clarity that I gained since yesterday. Yeah. Yep, it'll be what it is, and it'll unfold in its own way, and but to have that mirror, to maybe teach him something or share with him something of my own experience about where my people-pleasing patterns led me, and it wasn't always good places. I was sacrificing my integrity for others, based on a fear-based program of acceptance and approval and fear of abandonment. That my thoughts and my opinions are really the only thing in my life that matter. Not to be dismissive of other people's thoughts and feelings, but at the end of the day, I have to rest my head on my pillow and be okay with me. If you're watching this today, peace. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on before I go out to the house and open my bedroom door. But it's a good day. I may take a nice drive. It's very cold but very clear. I might even get down to the beach, and I would really like to do that. Even with it being as cold as it is, I'd love to get my feet in the water and get my feet in the water, get my feet in the sand. It's I'm getting itchy for spring, and I'm getting itchy for dirt, man. I want to get out in the garden, and I want to express myself through my gardening. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. If you're not, I'll hold space for you. I really enjoy that. And I'm going to hold space for him. I'm going to hold space for myself. I'm going to hold space for my former wife and my sister. And I'm going to be me today. I'm going to just be me. I'm going to be the dude that I envision myself to be, And I'm going to enjoy that, Love you guys. Peace. I'm out.